Hello, welcome to another episode of Pickle's Garage. This one will probably be a quick one, but just wanted to show you some other problem solving for electric fan issues. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I have one on testing the fan itself. So if you want to look into that specific thing, then that is on my page. But I did want to show some other solves as well. So it worked for a while. If you watched the other video, you saw me, identify that the wires seem to have, fried themselves. And once I replaced all that wiring and did it properly this time, it actually worked for quite a while, a few months even. But starting to have the same issues where the fan isn't kicking on. So I kind of have like a philosophy, especially with doing some of these solves, that if it's like a $20 fix, then just replace it. There's people that, buy the expensive tools to test, but I would say, if there's cheap fixes along the way, then you might as well just replace as much as you can. So, leading into that, I'm going to go ahead and start with the first and easiest fix, and that would be the fuse. So, fuse box is located on the passenger side. You get a detailed diagram of what you're looking for, and in this case we are looking at the radiator fan, which correlates to this one right here. So I just replaced this. The one that was in it didn't really look too bad, but again, if this was like maybe 11 bucks, so I just replaced it. Now I don't have to worry about that. So that's step one. Step two is a little bit more complicated. It's going to be the fan relay. Whoever designed these 4.0 Jeeps put everything in a very, easy access, makes sense location, except for the fan relay is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that as well as me replacing it, and then kind of go from there. So step one, and I will say that this is going to involve some cutting. And if you're not comfortable with that, then I would just stop here. But step one is removing the passenger side light, and that is going to be one super long bolt that just comes from here. And then if you've replaced any of your lights or any lights in general, you know that it has those kind of like punches that just stick into rubber. So it's kind of like a friction held into place. So once you pop those off, you'll be able to take this off like that, super carefully. Now, it's always nice when you buy a used vehicle and you start replacing things that you notice some hackery has already taken place. So this is the cutting that I'm actually talking about, this hole right here. So normally, that's a plastic cover right here. So if you are taking yours apart, this will not be available to you. I've tried to think of different ways that you could do this without cutting, but you would literally have to take off this entire thing and the whole bumper. You could probably, if you have some interesting tools and maybe you have some skinnier arms, I could justifiably probably get to this if I really needed to. So if you had, like a wrench, one of those curved wrenches, you might actually be able to get to this, but you're probably going to end up with some cuts on your hand. But if, again, you're not comfortable with actually cutting into your vehicle, then, that's just going to be what, I guess it's the lesser of two evils is your decision to make. So this was already cut, which leads me to believe that this has actually already been replaced, which is a little concerning because, if it's already been replaced and the wiring is all good, I'm running out of things that it could possibly be. However, I mean, these are fairly cheap parts, so it's possible that this one is also junk. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. So what your kit comes with, I did see some that are a little bit cheaper with just the relay itself, but there's others that actually come with all the wiring as well. So the one I bought is CarQuest, comes with the relay itself, and then it also comes with the plug and some wiring. So I'm going to attempt to just replace this. and have a little faith in their wiring abilities, which is probably not the right approach. But because it's already cut and all the painful stuff is already done, I'd rather just put this in. If it doesn't work, then I'll start doing the wiring. So I'm just gonna throw this on today, but self-explanatory if you've done any wiring. There's tons of videos about, you know, how to splice and put all that together. So, and that's another thing. If you're not comfortable with cutting your vehicle and you're not comfortable with doing wiring yourself, then this probably isn't going to be the average, you know, driveway fix. So keeping that all in mind. So honestly, I'll show you kind of what I'm gonna do, but for the most part, from this stage, once you've cut and once you've, you know, done all this stuff, there's not really a whole lot that, you know, I can show you that's gonna be worth your time. So basically there's just a red tab. I'm gonna have to push that up. I'll disconnect this, pressing down on that, and then 2 small bolts there, and then pop it off, put this new one in, plug it in, and then put everything back and test it. So like I said, probably a quick video. So this is really just a high level explanation. If you're wondering what this repair is going to take, then this is kind of your best way to let you know what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, that is it. Thanks again for watching Pickles Garage. I do have some more videos coming up that are going to be related to like car shows. Because again, if you watch some of my stuff, you know that I have a couple classics that I'm actually going to be taking to the show. So I'm going to do a video for that. It's not going to be a repair video, so kind of just something for me. And if you happen to enjoy it, that's really great, you know, because I'd love for you guys to see some of my cars at the show. So keeping that all in mind, you know, stay tuned, and, you know, feel free to subscribe if you're interested in my opinions on things and some repairs every once in a while. All right, have a good one.